You're becoming someone that you have never been before. And that shit is hard. But it's so beautiful and it's so worth it. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Shelly, Queen of Carney, and I'm so glad you guys are here today. Today we're going to discuss transitioning from the standard American diet or the SAD diet to a zero low carb way of eating. For example, carnivore, keto, or ketovore. So let's get into it. I transitioned to carnivore about 8 weeks ago. I am just now starting my 9th week. I did it with a rip off the Band-Aid kind of mentality, and I don't recommend it for everybody, but some people transition more quickly and some need a little bit more time. And that's what we're here to talk about. I am so glad that I switched to carnivore. It has completely changed my life. I've lost 32 pounds, and this is just the beginning. My depression and anxiety have almost completely disappeared. I don't have any more gastrointestinal issues. I have a ton of energy. It has just changed my life in so many ways. I sleep better. I mean, I could go, the list goes on and on. So I really am excited that you guys are thinking or have switched over. I know that it can be a little bit overwhelming when you're trying something new, especially when it comes to diet and exercise. There's so much conflicting information out there. You know, you've got one side of the aisle telling you, if you eat too much meat, you're going to get clogged arteries and die. And then there's the other side of the aisle saying, if you don't eat vegetables, you'll never get any nutrients. And it's crazy. You don't know what to believe, right? Well, I was right there. And I started doing a lot of research. And I want to share that with you guys. So over the next few months, we're going to do some deep dives into some things that I have figured out and try to make it a little bit easier for you. The easiest thing and the first thing you can do when you are moving into another way of eating is to transition slowly. Make simple swaps. You don't need to go out and restock your entire kitchen. Nobody can afford to do that. And we don't want to waste food, right? So transitioning out of the way you're eating now is the easiest way to do it. Simple substitutions can go a long way, and they can make a big impact. So instead of having that cereal for breakfast or that toasted bagel with cream cheese, try having some bacon and eggs or a cheese omelet. That's really easy. It's pretty cheap, and you can add it right in there. Going out to lunch, driving through if you don't have time and you need to go through the drive-through, get a double bacon cheeseburger, plain, and just toss them buns and eat the beef patties and the cheese and the bacon. Oh, so good. And boom, you just got rid of those carbs. Love it. Pasta and rice. I know those are toughies, right? Almost as hard as bread. But there's simple things you can do. You can do zoodles with zucchini, or you can just cut it out entirely. I love making burger bowls. And there's a lot of varieties of burger bowls that you can make. I make taco bowls a lot. They're delicious. So if that's something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe because I will be doing some videos on different easy meals, different recipe ideas that are quick, fun, satiating, and help you stay on track, and they're sustainable. Snacks. Snacks are a little bit tricky. We don't want to just reach for those bag of Cheetos, which we used to do all the time, right? Or a muffin or a granola bar. So what can we eat? Well, you've got hard-boiled eggs. You can keep those in the fridge. You can even pre-peel them and keep them in a Ziploc bag and then just grab a couple when you need them. Bacon. You could either buy the pre-made bacon or you can just make some bacon in the oven or the air fryer and then store it in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. Grab a few slices on the go. You've got some great portable protein there. What else? Pepperoni slices. That's kind of been a lifesaver for me sometimes. I like to pair that with some mozzarella string cheese, and that's a really good combo. and it gives you some fat and it gets you some protein, which is what you need. Something else, beef jerky. Make sure you get the no sugar added kind, but beef jerky is another really good snack. And you can even make it yourself if you're adventurous enough and you want to try that. If you have a dehydrator, you can even use your oven. There's lots of recipes online. And I'll probably be doing a video on that as well. But the biggest thing is to keep it simple. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with trying all these new recipes and, getting yourself worked up over what am I going to eat? Am I eating it the perfect way? You don't have to do all that. Simple, simple, simple. Burger patties or ground beef, bacon, eggs, cheese, butter, steak, roast. Those are all delicious things that you can eat right away and incorporate those into your diet. So, keeping that in mind, you also want to keep it simple with your beverages. Now, I know I'm not going to come after your coffee, but everybody loves their coffee, right? So what I would recommend is getting rid of those sweeteners, the coffee mate, that kind of the flavored stuff. It's full of junk and it's full of insulin spiking ingredients, and we don't want those. So instead, try doing some heavy cream and some natural sweetener like allulose or monk fruit. Those are both natural plant-based sweeteners, and those are keto friendly. There's no calories, no carbs, so they don't spike your blood sugar at all. So those are a great alternative. And staying hydrated is so important. You really, really want to stay hydrated. And not everybody can drink just plain water, especially if it's not something you're used to. So transitioning into that can take a little extra effort. I like sparkling or caffeinated mineral water, and I like to flavor it with lemon and lime juice. I'll just get lemons and limes and I'll squeeze it in there, and it's delicious. You can get the Topo Chicos. Those are really yummy. Those are actually my favorite, but they're a little on the spendy side. So I tend to make my own now, and I save the Topo Chico for a treat. Tea. I drink a lot of spearmint or peppermint tea. There's so many flavors of tea you could get. And if you're not caffeine sensitive like I am, there's even more options. So definitely consider drinking some tea when you need something with flavor. And you can also squeeze a little lemon and a little allulose or monk fruit sweetener into that as well. So don't feel bad about that. The biggest thing is simple, simple, simple. Because, some people, they want to go out there and they want to, think they have to be perfect and they want to be like the Pinterest keto queen. And I mean, if that's your deal, go for it. But most of us we don't have time for that, right? So keeping it simple. And when you first start, don't worry about tracking calories or protein or, micronutrients and macronutrients. Don't worry about all that. Eat until you're full, until you're satiated, and then just stop eating. And then when you get hungry again, eat again. I recommend getting a certain window of time. You can either intermittent fast, for 16 hours and then have an 8-hour window where you're allowed to eat. And you can adjust that as needed until you get used to, what you're doing and how you're eating, and you're learning what your body is demanding from you. When you're switching over, when you're getting rid of the carbs and you're detoxing your body from all of those carbs, from the bread and the root vegetables and the sugars from the processed foods, your body's going to rebel a little bit. Okay, guys? And you're going to need to expect that. You're going to get irritability. You're going to get fatigue. You're going to, there's going to be times when you just want to cry. There's going to be times when you just want to say, screw it, I can't do this. Don't give up. You can do it. And that's normal. That's your body going through withdrawal from the sugar. And when people think, oh, sugar, it's not just, cane sugar in a spoon. It's in carbs are sugar. So all of the bread you're eating, the rice, the pasta, even things like carrots and potatoes, all the processed food and the chips and the granola bars and the frozen meals and the canned soup and all of those things, fast food, restaurant food, those are all full of carbs. And our body has been processing carbs most of our lives for energy and using that for energy. So when you all of a sudden get rid of that, your body's like, holy crap, what's going on? You got to start flooding your body with fat and retraining your body. And that will help so much. But in the meantime, electrolytes are so important. Your potassium, sodium, and magnesium. It's really, really important that you get those. And that will really help with what they call keto flu. And that's what you start to feel like that first week of withdrawal. And I'm going to do another video on Electrolytes 101. So make sure you stay tuned for that one too. And for those of you who are just starting, I want to remind you, you're not alone. I'm going to walk this path with you. We're going to do this together. And you've got this. You are stronger than you know. And you have so much power within you that you don't even know about, that you haven't even tapped into yet. And I am here to help you. And I'm going to cheer you guys on. And I'm going to be your support when you need it. Because that is crucial. Having a support system is crucial. And if you don't have one, find one wherever you can. I found one online. I didn't have one either. And it's really hard when you have family and friends who are thinking you're nuts for going carnivore or thinking you're crazy for cutting out carbs. What? You don't eat bread? What, are you crazy? And you're going to have that. You're going to encounter that. But it's okay because there are so many of us out there that will cheer you on and support you in your journey. And if you want a little extra support, click that link below in the description and download your free workbook that I created for you guys. 6 pages, super easy, and it will help you stay on track. In closing, I just wanted to say, you're not failing if it gets hard. You're not failing if you miss those old foods and have cravings. And you're not failing if you cry or you get discouraged. You're human. You're becoming someone that you have never been before. And that shit is hard. But it's so beautiful. And it's so worth it. Remember, you're not just changing your diet. You're changing your life. We can do this. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Remember, I love you. Mwah! And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.